Welcome back to the show where, of course, almost every day we check in on the gaming news. Today there is quite a lot. So, we've got Ubisoft's latest advertising scheme causing quite a lot of concern for the integrity of the in-game experience, but all is not exactly as it seems. You have the surprise collapse of an entire gaming arm of a Chinese tech giant, of course a gaming arm that was pumping money across many different studios. Then the worrying state of what kids actually want from video games, which, believe me, is a shocking and grim glimpse at the future, as well as the Bloober Team over at Bloober Team, who, quite frankly, want everybody to stop asking them about Silent Hill 2. But since we're going to start talking about Ubisoft advertisements, frankly, it's time for one of our own, and I promise you, we need the money more than they do. War Thunder blowing shit up is damn fun, and you can play War Thunder today for free at my link, where you will get a massive bonus pack that's got vehicles, boosters, more. I'll get into that in a sec. The thing you need to know, though, is that War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game that has ever been made. It is quite simply insane. Between tanks, planes, ships, helicopters, they have got over 2,000 vehicles that span over 100 years of military history. As for me, I'm a massive history nut, right? I grew up in the likes of Band of Brothers, great movies like A Bridge Too Far, that kind of thing, and I've always loved historical military games. And versus tank combat and other games I've played, I mean, War Thunders is simply stunning for a number of reasons. Number one, graphics, incredible, especially cranked up to 4K with sound design that just makes it such an immersive experience. And that even extends, of course, then to the gameplay, where they actually model everything down to the detail, but not just like the visuals, no, the damage simulation is extremely intricate, and this is what I particularly loved. I'm used to games where, you know, you have a big chunky health bar and that's just how your vehicle works, where here, no, the damage model is very intricate. It's then highlighted by their damage x-ray that basically shows you what's going on. It's gnarly, it's really cool. It's so much more than just, you know, chipping away a really big health bar and just damage spongy gameplay. It adds just a level of authenticity and lethality that it really just enhances the experience. So it's a hell of a time. It's free to play with crossplay on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and you can sign up today with my link for a huge old bonus of 100,000 silver lions, 50% XP and silver booster, a 7-day premium, of course, M4, A2 Sherman, and P40E-1 rental with 10 backups for each. I mean, come on, those are both obviously legendary vehicles. Pretty damn cool. So follow my link down below to get launched into the action today. One thing we've seen over the last few years, especially in long-running game franchises, is in-game advertising being developed more and more, and it's fairly straightforward, right? You load the game up, you reach the main menu, and you're recommended the most recent game in the series, or maybe some DLC. As a Total War player, I'm pretty much used to this sort of thing going on for years. And of course, it's not the best experience in the world for the companies, though. It is basically free exposure, free money, right? Well, in the minds of many players, Ubisoft recently went a step further, because this was not an advertisement popping up when you started playing the game. This was an advertisement popping up whenever you tried to access the in-game pause screen and, of course, the map of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This, of course, exploded onto Reddit, and basically it was, hey, were you just checking the in-game map? By the way, did you know you can get 20% off Assassin's Creed Mirage right now? Obviously, as it first appears, this is absolutely gross. The idea that you are just having the gameplay flow interrupted for an advertisement, that is kind of horrible. This rightly prompted outcry, many furious headlines, many thumbnails. All that you expect. Ubisoft now are saying that this is a technical error, right? They said this in a follow-up tweet. However, they did not deny that this was an advertisement or that it's something, that wasn't intended to be shown to players. Obviously it was. They're basically just saying, something broke, and this appeared in the wrong context. Our intention was to display a promotion for Mirage as part of the franchise news in the main menu of other Assassin's Creed games, but a technical error basically caused it to appear the way that it did. It's just the main menu pop-up. Sorry, it happened to appear in the game. That sucks. That's basically what they are saying. Now, the thing here is, it's Ubisoft, and people don't necessarily trust Ubisoft that much. So, the problem they're going to have here is that even if this is is, completely true. And to be honest, more likely than not, just given how egregious and stupid this is, I do think it's a genuine mistake. But the thing is, Ubisoft has got so little goodwill with quite a few people that, frankly, people won't exactly believe them. Now, this couldn't just be a bug that resulted in a misapplication. That would be way too simple. This video has still got some runtime to go, because actually, here is a Let's Play where it happened several times and the player was being actively advertised the DLC that they were already in the middle of playing. This is a video that was released 4 years ago, and this basically means this is likely some sort of system-level bug that has been there for a while. So, apply Occam's razor, and yes, this is a bug. We actually have evidence here in a 4-year-old video of this problem actually being present. But of course, if you do want to be very cynical about this, then there is the big brain read here that Ubisoft are basically maybe A/B testing a whole bunch of adverts to see how people react. Overall, what will I say? I will say right now, I do not think that Ubisoft is doing the big evil thing, because there is being big and evil in a way that is frankly so stupid that it will just hurt you. Now, the idea of A/B testing advertisements and consumption opportunities, as we may call them, within a game, that's completely normal. That is completely normal in the mobile space, where sometimes dynamic bundles are generated based on user play patterns, and they will, of course, A/B test loads of things as they send them all out to different segments of their player base. A lot of people think about a mobile game, they think, oh, surely that'll take 8 people to develop. Oh no, it's a lot more than that, because of all the various different ways that these games are perhaps more complex in the back end than you may give them credit for. Is this going on in Ubisoft games in a way that is actually A/B testing promotions? No, I do not think that is happening. However, we've got to be very clear that we do not like this, because if they could get away with it, they obviously would. Now, speaking of getting away, ByteDance are getting the hell away from gaming. They're getting out of games. Their publisher, Newverse, is restructuring, and the fate of games like Marvel Snap is, in a way, up in the air. Now, specifically for Marvel Snap, they have said that basically the game's going to continue. So, do not expect Marvel Snap to just explode and disappear. Now, this is some surprise news, because basically the big story is, if you're a very large, tech firm in China, you'll probably be doing loads of investments in loads of different markets, especially ones that perform well outside of China, because you want your financial performance to be insulated against local regulations and the whims of the party, that sort of thing. Now, since 2019, ByteDance, the owners of TikTok, have been buying up studios. They've been funding people basically with an ambition of taking on the likes of Tencent and NetEase. I mean, many people even reported that ByteDance could be the sort of company that Activision Blizzard may partner with to get the likes of, say, World of Warcraft and Overwatch back into the Chinese market. And that is definitely not going to happen. Speaking to Reuters, a spokesperson basically said that they were getting out of development and publishing of, quote, full games. They basically said, yeah, we made the difficult decision to restructure the gaming business. According to Reuters sources, TikTok Gaming is being unaffected, I suppose, like as an entity that exists, but staff reportedly have been told that they will be winding down production on unannounced games before December. And as for the game's already released titles, as an example, they were mostly dealing with whole companies that they had acquired, like Moonton Technology or Pico. Basically, expect divestment here rather than shuttering. As for games that they've been publishing, well, that's where things get kind of interesting. Certainly, Marvel Snap, it does seem to have been a successful game. According to AppMagic, Marvel Snap, right, year to date had $100 million in in-app purchase revenue. And that's actually really impressive, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel was coming in at $43 million, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links $29 million, Magic the Gathering Arena $27 million, and Hearthstone $26.9 million. And that does mean, in a way, Ben Brode left the Hearthstone team, and yes, 100 million versus 26.9 million. So quite the difference there. Marvel Snap, very successful. Perhaps telling us that this kind of collection level based monetization maybe seems to be working well. Can't exactly say if that's maybe more because of just raw player numbers. Certainly being able to see, the amount of money per user. That would be very interesting for these different games. Hearthstone, though, certainly struggling to find its place in the market, where seemingly its most popular mode, Battleground, Battlegrounds is really the one they've had the most trouble monetizing. Anyway, this is a story that is still breaking. As for Marvel Snap, they have said that people have expressed concerns, and they thank players for their concerns, but they do say that Snap will continue to operate and flourish in the future. Yeah, look, if they are a profitable team, they're sitting here with 100 million revenue year to date. Maybe that goes up to like 120 million by the end of the year. I don't exactly know the sample size in that, but basically pretty good cash generating business. I imagine they will be fine. But I'll tell you who's not fine. And I know this may be the peak boomer thing to say, but I think something's changing with the new generations, folks. And I really do mean that. This is concerning to me. So, US kids want video games for Christmas. That's not a surprise. I'm pretty sure they've wanted video games for Christmas for a long time. Basically, per a report from the ESA, 72% of kids surveyed want some sort of gaming gift this year. But the question is, what do they actually want? So this is 500 plus kids from ages 10 to 17, and basically here's the answers. Number one, game subscriptions at 39%. Does that mean like PS Plus, Game Pass, that sort of thing, especially since, you know, your equivalent of, like, you know, remember Xbox Live Gold in order to do online multiplayer? Like, yeah, people will want that kind of thing, so that's kind of natural. Gaming consoles, 38%. Fair, reasonable. Game gear / accessories, 32%. In-game currency, 29%. Physical video games, 22%. So kind of a slim margin here, but kids want subscriptions more than they do consoles, and they want game currency more than actual games here, which is to someone who plays games like maybe you or I, something that would appear to be shocking, right? However, think about the sorts of games that they're playing. A lot of them are playing Roblox. A lot of them are playing Fortnite, and if you are just playing Roblox and accessing the crazy number of experiences that exist within Roblox, you're going to want whatever they're called. Robux? Is it V-Bucks and I don't even know what these currencies are. I know it's V-Bucks, but yeah. Now, the thing here is that matters. This will be relevant to the future. So a lot of these things that are going on in mobile games, and like I know the demos of this channel, almost everyone who watches this channel is over the age of 24. I forget exactly the median, but it's probably like early 30s, late 20s, something like that. Definitely we skew fairly old as far as gaming audiences go, which is a good thing because it means we're mostly insulated from some of the gaming hellscapes that exist. Point is though, this is going to be what will be normal for most people growing up. I know people who basically were not playing games in a pre-horse armor era. All the big companies know this. So yes, things absolutely will continue to go the way that they are going. I think we will have to settle for having a happy and hopefully big enough niche to support the sorts of experiences that we want, slice of the market, when overall V-Bucks, Roblox stuff, that's kind of the way a lot of stuff's going to be going. Okay, Bloober Team then. They want people to stop asking them for Silent Hill 2 news. Obviously, Silent Hill 2, pretty big games. Bloober Team are making the Silent Hill 2 remake. I mean, man, with Resi and everything, we're in an amazing age of horror game remakes. But basically, in light of the absolute travesty that is Silent Hill Ascension's very weird mix of streaming video and a very just hyper monetized game, people are kind of looking at Silent Hill 2 remake as a sort of a glimmer of hope, right? Now, what they've been getting, though, is essentially radio silence. Bloober Team have talked about it as a thing that exists in earnings reports, but no, basically not that much. So what they've actually done is they've released a statement here to hopefully get some people kind of like back in their side. Alongside our partner, we're diligently working to ensure the Silent Hill 2 remake attains the highest quality on behalf of the development team. They'd like to clarify that production is progressing smoothly and according to schedule. They talk about understanding that people are eagerly, wanting more news, but they say that they kindly act for more patience. Once Konami as the publisher shares more info, we are confident that the wait will be worthwhile. So this is obviously not an update to the game. This is just an update to, the process of developing the game. It's a confirmation that Konami are in charge of marketing, which is absolutely how this always goes with publishers. Yeah, that's basically what's going on here. They've got to spend time making the game, and while they're making the game, well, they're kind of not the people who are in control. They're being paid to develop this. They're a development studio, but a publisher, and all the marketing stuff will come from the publisher. I, for one, though, as a relatively newly converted horror fan between what the Resident Evil series has been putting out and what Mike Flanagan has been putting out over on Netflix, the likes of Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, stuff like that. Yeah, pretty damn good time for horror overall. So that's it for today's video, and I've got to say a massive thank you to War Thunder. The game is an absolute hell of a time. It is the best vehicle combat game, and you can check it out at my link down below, where you can play for free with crossplay across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And at my link, you get 100,000 Silver Lions, you get 50% XP and Silver Booster, 7 days of premium, the epic M4A2 Sherman, and P40E-1 rental, with 10 backups for each, and a bunch of other goodies as well to get you launched into the action. Link down below. That's it from me, and I'll catch you later.